Let's mix them all together, see what we got. And let's all see what we got here with the PS4 brackets for today. Let's get into it. Come on, let's get some games going. It is going to be Martial Artists taking a 3-0 and a 2-0 to find themselves in the final. I wouldn't want to mess with Martial Artists, I'm not going to lie. And Tier 1 Esports, they take a 2-0 and a 3-0 as well, and they're going to find themselves against Martial Artists. So Tier 1 versus Martial Artists. What are you thinking already?
I've got some bad news for Tier 1 Esports.
Yeah, what?
I'm not sure if they're truly a Tier 1 Esports organization.
Ooh.
I've never heard of them before.
Ooh,
this is their chance to prove it.
Oh, man.
Paladins.
There, moving with the Fernando shield. This is important. It's still getting bursted down. Throwing Aaron's just throwing. Grover refused to lodge rockets, and now the whirlwind has been built up for Dalton, so they've got that oh no button if they do need it. But Inara's healthy. Fernando's healthy, and Fiery Impact just took down the Ash.
99% picked up for Tier 1, but they're pushed back. Ash no longer being online. Impact with Talus looking for an even larger one. He's looking for the last couple of shots, but not able to lock down the Drogos. But the zoning is the important part. 96-99.
There it is.
Captured.
GLXY wasn't able to participate in that fight. He was the one who actually had the damage to burst down the Talus. And so now with a really nice fireman, all the moves, combo, salvo. It's not going to go his way at the start. So now they're going to wait on the back foot here. A nice whirlwind as well. This is going to at least get one, but a lot of ultimates used for only 15% on the objective thus far.
A nice pluck, at least to get Fernando out of position. They do get the kill off of it as well. 35% picked up. And they have Sarasol, they have Drogos execute as well, depending on the needs that arise. But with the zoning and the control they have, Tier 1 Esports don't necessarily need to push anywhere out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, this is a comeback mechanic. It's something we don't often mention here, but it's going to obviously make a big impact here as the objective is captured for Tier 1 Esports.
Still really adept at healing. His ult will spread this down, and Talus immediately goes for the shots of Fiery Impact. It's impacted into the ground.
And it's just that delay while he's hooked before he can get out of it. Cleanse is just where he needs to be. In fact, he might not have dropped his cleanse. The inner travel, inner strength did not work out for him.
Alright, so now they gained that zoning while they had 70%. They're rising up 57. You're at 3-2-1, so if you get this, you win.
Fiery Impact finds a big kill here, and this is important. 57%, but 81, 85. Now there's the seismic crash. They were waiting to make their move, and oh boy, have they made it. Onara stays alive, and that's the big question mark that ends up being answered emphatically by Martial Artists. 3-1, 78% counting. There are the sprays. That's almost the conclusion here. We know how this story ends. It's going to be Martial Artists taking the game. It's going to be your priority in these fights as well. The Colorize did get picked up by the Drogos. A couple dismounts here. That flank, absolutely nothing out of it. He's going to be able to travel. Just get a lot of damage. Force them back with the Blitz up. A great play. And they somehow find enough damage to burst him before he can travel. Wow.
Not the play they wanted to make right there. Losing 2 off the point immediately. Tier 1 are sitting on it. 48%. That's a third kill. Clean. They haven't had any retaliation.
I mean, that was very close to being very well executed by Martial Artists. Maybe they overstayed their welcome with that Talus flank, just trying to regress on it too. Just too much CC from the Genos and the Moa. 93% for Tier 1. Looks like they'll probably capture this one without any contest from Martial Arts.
On the side that comes down from Tier 1 is really what can make or break this. If they are able to find good damage, they get a couple kills, that's going to open it up, and Nara going to be the first one on the block, and she's off.
Still, no emotes yet, but still feeling very confident as Tier 1 Esports continue to progress. They've got the Inara down, they've lost the DK, but they're still here. That lap from Fernando could be closing in. They keep this up. Drogos on top, that's bad. Thinking Link Totem. Gonna be over everything. Best to just survive. He's going to dash away, get down to the lower ground. They're going to have to chase him if they want that kill, and they're going to say, okay, we'll chase you. Here's as well. Seismic crash ready for 2 PCS, but not quite able to put it off yet.
Not a lot of pushing back as to what I had expected to see. It's gone very slow so far for Tier 1, and it looks like it's just getting slower as time goes on. It seems like we're seeing what Martial Artists know what they need to do.
Bounce back off. It was a grumpy, it was a poppy bomb, excuse me. Almost not dropped the edge. Stay alive. Here's a new time in space. It's going to get to Santel with the big play. And now they can move forward. It was hard to break that impasse, but certainly the walls will crumble now.
Sometimes you don't need them to go again. Sometimes you just need one nice big shot through the cosmos. And that's exactly what you're going to be able to do. 16 seconds left. But that payload is moving, it's moving fast. They need to get on, they need to defend if martial artists want to hold this point. Or there's also the other thing, you could let it go through to potentially give yourself that extra push. He's a nice immortal to at least dodge out the Dragon's Punch. And that's going to beat Drogo's off the map.
And the CC immunity from this is helping them so they cannot get stalled out by the seismic crash. It would be a waste of time. PBGS knows it. And he is just going to back off. It's a 2-0 for Tier 1 Esports. Wow, all cooldowns used by Makoa except for the hook. This is not good if he gets caught out here, and he certainly has. He's got no ultimate as well. This could be bad. Doesn't have the shield yet, but enemy over everything finds a kill. Ghost, however, finds the Fernando, and this heal from Saris is too good. She's in the backside. She's healing her up to full, and this is bad. True Power. He's going to go for it. He's got the Rune of Travel. He can hold on to that. Tier 1, 42% counting now on the objective. And
Tier 1 Esports weren't able to continue that distraction of continue that guy is enough to get them to full point. Now they're going to come through. A nice convergence, collapsing everybody into one. It's going to be 1 kill, 2 kills picked up for the team as they're trying to take this back, and they do have their comeback mechanic, the capture point favor.
And that's going to do it. Gore, I don't think they can get back. I'm sure the dismounts will come through. There may be some damage, but that's martial artist taking this one. This drop is a drop. If he goes down, and just the way his totem is, I think he has already created a problem for his team. He's been so good at sticking with his tanks, but he's got the damage aggressed onto him, and now he's going to go down just like that. Gets burned to a crisp. Enemy over everything, now finding the relentless pressure from the siege cannon from Ash, and now the seismic crash going to stun out the Makoa. Bomb King gets hit with a shield, but still finds a way to find fiery impact for the kill, and the detonation may not be strong enough as the Grumpy Bomb hits. This is Ghost up over everything now, trying to finish this off through time and space, a last resort, but the Dragon Punch is ready. I don't know, Gore. I don't think they're going to be able to withstand this.
I mean, at this point, low health bars, everything ticking against them, but the timer's helping them out. Makoa jumps right down in time. They just use a lot of cooldowns on the side of martial artists, and now Makoa is the one thing standing between them and the capture as the team comes through. He's dead, and with that, there's a lot of low health bars. Fernando just now getting back isn't going to be there in time. If he needs to get into the backline to help take care of these with the shots from the rocket launcher. So far,
this
so
is
good.
Perfect. Gonna find 2. The damage from combustible hit. No, they're getting healed up. It's time to go into the one-hit KO. He's looking for the Grok. Can't find him. Swings around, finds the Makoa. Goes down back to base. That'll definitely be worth the trouble there.
True Power coming through into the backline. Immediately, Talus knows who he's going for. Genos is the target, and they will find him, but it's going to be Fire Impact with those nice longer range shots looking for him. The same thing with the Bomb King low, but you are so you can find him with a couple of damage. Now Ash, she's at this point a war machine going forward and not hesitating to continue fighting.
She needs 1, 2, 3 more, and she's going to get that ultimate soon, but the damage getting blocked with the shield. This should be enough. Cauterize, melting Grok even through the Tempest. There's a seismic crash as well. It's directly on enemy, and now Ash chasing him down. Doesn't hit with the 800, but she's got 400 in the pocket for him. Make that 480. And now it's objective capture for martial artists. They turn the tide yet again. Tier 1 Esports crumbling like a cookie right now. Dalton trying his best. And he's getting healed up in this totem, but this totem is down soon, and they know where this Grok is, and he's in the Warder's field, but he gets the totem right back. The cooldown on this is ridiculous, and he's able to just kind of stay in this permanently. And he's getting his ultimate charge very quickly as well. If he Ghost Walks here, he's going to have his totem up again, and look at that.
Being able to go for it. I mean, that was similar to what we saw out of Talus in the last game, but this time Grok was the one keeping himself alive, winning the 1v1. No matter how much Talus kept himself going, he was the one in trouble, going into the backline, immediately looking for some shots from the Bomb King. Should be able to find the kill just before he gets into the base, but creating some space. That's 4 kills down for Tier 1 Esports. And Narwhal and some lucky pushes. That should be the win.
I think that'll do big. Seismic crash. Turns the shield off. Martial artist come back with the grace of a sensei. Now Leon fiery impact. Basically the perfect position, I'd say, for Leon here. She wants to control this balcony. They've got to look at her, but this is what Tier 1 Esports have a problem with. They've got to look at their right side too right now, and this is not going well for them. Leon is free-firing now. No one has enough resources to look towards her and fight on the objective. They're just forced to back off.
And that's really unfortunate right there. The Grumpy Bomb goes off, it gets a stun, and potentially could have been a kill with the follow-up from Bomb King. Just getting a couple of stacked bombs on there and detonating. That would have been a dead Fernando gone to rights, but unfortunately, they just weren't able to do it. They couldn't turn that corner without eating a ton of damage in return, and now, one by one, they end up falling down, trickle by trickle. That's all they really need is Talus might get traded out there, but honestly, I feel like that's more worth it for martial artists. Just kind of fell back and, again, letting Tier 1 fall back on their own and on their own decisions, and that's not really the kind of pressure you want when you're trying to win.
No, not at all. Martial artists captured the first point, but everything is stalled, so to speak. They've done a good early start, but now it seems like their plan has been a little bit less effective, and they are getting flanked by quite a few members fly here on this series, getting a nice one to Ghost, but this is probably going to do it. They're going to back off, and that was a pretty unimpressive push. If you're martial artist, pretty impressive defense for tier 1 in this meta. Woke up Bucks was kind of early. That recovery now not a good shot available here. And a good shot there by Dalton. Cleans up his up. Oh,
Nice so far, but no follow-up. They're actually going to be able to walk out of that, no problem. They're the ones finding kills. Santel not only alive, but well. And Ghost is going to be able to pick up a little bit. That almost was a travesty with that convergence.
That was a 5-man convergence, I think. And so now they are fully ahead of that, at least, just from winning objectives. And if they lose this push, it's cool. Because next objective, they can do the same thing, be a full tier 3 ahead in terms of items. And that's from 30 to 90%. That is a big difference. And they are capitalizing off of it with a fiery vengeance, maybe a fiery impact. He has a chance to quadra this out here, but I don't know if he's going to find it with the Zorball bubble. But he's trying to. Oh, boy! Tell him how you really feel.
Just out of time, but honestly, that's not really the thing that was impacting them. The thing that's impacting them is look where the payload is now. They have a minute to move it 2 feet. They have to push this barely, and with the kills going their way, the cauterize, like you said, online the way it is, Garcia's not healing at all. Fire Impact's getting a kill. No one's jumping onto the payload.
Yeah.
And that's 3-1. 400 separates them between them and the top of tier 1 eSport, and that just shows again what they're doing with these objectives and the control they have right now. Up 3-1, all they have to do is capture this, and it is done for tier 1.
So now cauterized 3s are all on the table for martial artists, which means that when they do damage, the healing is going to be so almost null and void. That's going to be very hard for tier 1 esports to get out of combat and heal back up. But whoa! From downtown, I thought the Super Bowl started at 6:30. XGLXY turns it on, finds the long range, and a through time in space finds one to escape, and that could be the problem here because Xeris is still alive, and that means the fight is still on for martial artists.
Just a couple more hits is all it would take to get rid of her. They're zoning it out. They kill off the Xeris, but Fiery Impact has respawned at this point. Buck going into the backline looking for the kills without the healer and without any extra shielding. That's a dangerous spot to be in. 93%. They should be able to grab this, and that was just the perfect combination, even though 2 escapes.
And I mean, XGLXY started that up. He whips his head back and forth and gets the poppy bomb right before it's time. He does go down, though, maybe paying a little bit for his hubris. You know, you gotta be saying, hey, they usually don't get that, guys. I would've stayed alive, we would've got this point, game would've been over, so let's just defend. We feel strong about this. The shield doesn't block that, buddy. That may be a problem for this Fernando.
His health bar tells the story of that shield not blocking it. Now it tells it even more as he is going to be sitting around in base in the timeout box for a little bit as 2 members right now, both the tanks, not exactly the ones you want to lose that are on, are going to be hovering back. They're going to have to get back into this. 1 bomb, 2 kills there as they pick him up. Galaxy again scooping that up, but Enemy also helping him out through that. It was just very, very strong for them to be able to make that kind of play. Once again, another good shot.
And I mean, I gotta say, XGLXY is making it more and more of a case right now. Maybe I'm giving him 20 out of 100 that he's hit that long range shot. He's just hitting so many clutch ones and a good hyper beam, and that's gonna do it. It's 3-3, boys. Tied up. Tier 1 esports impressing me beyond belief.
It's just that Bomb King played that very well. It was very adept at throwing that in between the 2 and threading the beat.
And notice where Bomb King was now. Beyond, exactly in the same position. He's got the bubble. She's got to fight away from this. Wait till the bubble goes down. She needs 1. It's not the easy like it's in. Tell wins that. Of course, you would expect that. But with bulk up, with a protection bubble for Evolve, he's going to back off now. 69% on the objective for martial arts. Someone has got to touch down onto the point for Tier 1 esports.
15 as they come back, but now Magoa's mad. He's going to be swinging. You can hear the clutch he hits as it is right now, but it hurts a lot more than it sounds. A nice convergence brings them together. That's going to be 2, that's going to be 3, potentially 4 is the hook. The wall blocks it, but he still found it, kept him in place, and that's going to be the kill.
Watch this. She wants to hold right here. I'm telling you. I know these console boys. She needed the BM, didn't get the kill, but martial artists get the victory. And I'm so excited to see a great finish to that. Tier 1 esports pull it back, you know, and it's not easy to go 2 points down and then win that, actually go 3 points down, and then win that next objective and push it all the way through so that you put yourself in the position of actually tying it up 3-3 without the credits in your hand, without the items to be able to support you. Right, let's take a look at the bracket for PCS Phase. 3, and it'll be Martial Artists taking the 3-0, so they go undefeated, which is pretty solid for a Week 3 team. Despite Tier 1 Esports going undefeated and putting up a good showing in that last game, Martial Artists are clearly a class ahead, and they will qualify into that last week next week, which is 8 teams and a full single elimination tournament.
Yeah, and this is always one of the best things. Because, again, that was a 3-0, but when you look at the map scores, it was a little bit closer than that. And especially for the games, they were a little bit closer, even though some of the scores might have leaned towards one team or the other, whichever way it goes.